Where's the umbrella gone? Oh, thank you. There's the Thai mint. I think that's the Thai mint there. Look. There it is there. If you're wondering, that's where your back comes from. The wind is getting up. It's a Sunday. I hate Sundays. We're talking about education and carnage in Thailand. What's education got to do with carnage? A lot. Do you know the Thai education system? I think they're ranked about 78, give or take. And this ties in with the carnage on their roads. So if you know anything about Thailand, you'll know that the Thai education system uses a method of teaching known as rote learning. And rote learning basically means repetitive learning. If I was to give you an example of repetitive learning or rote learning, it's when you be trying to remember a phone number in your mind while you're waiting to get a pen or dial the number into a phone, where you call out the number repeatedly, 257-64321, 257-64321, 257-64321. You keep repeating it until you write it down, and what happens then? It goes out of your head. It's gone forever. That's rote learning. That's how they learn here. And this method of rote learning is enshrined in Thailand. So when it comes to doing your driving test, your driving license, now I did the driving test, and I am 14 years ago, and I had to renew my driving license this year. And part of the process of renewal was to sit through an examination, a practical examination of reaction times when you see a red light. You put your foot on the brake, you sit in this chair thing. You probably know this, fellas, if you have your Thai driver's license, but if you don't, this is what you do. And then you put your chin on a yoke like you're in an eye examination, and they test your peripheral vision. And then I think there was one or two questions, but there wasn't one question. There wasn't one question of what do you do when you come to a roundabout. There wasn't one question as what are chevrons for. There wasn't one question or one detail about, now, you might have had a different experience to me, but I can tell you that based on my experience on the road, Thais don't understand the rules of a roundabout. They don't, because they don't adhere to them. They'll stop in the middle of a roundabout and let someone come on, whereas the person on the roundabout has the right of way, but not in Thailand, because they don't understand it. They don't understand what a continuous white line means. You might say, yes, they do, it's in the test. Well, I never saw it in the test, and I never see it on a daily basis when I'm out driving. The continuous white line means absolutely nothing. Why do they indicate going around bends when they don't have to? You know, there's oodles of aspects of driving in Thailand that have nothing to do with, let's say, that have nothing to do with enforcement, let's say. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. This year alone, in 2026, this year alone in 2026, 3 very prominent and well-known individuals died on Thailand roads. One was an Australian athlete, beautiful girl with her future ahead of her, in her 20s, going round a bend on some road somewhere, and probably down the islands or whatever, a notorious bend, and she came off her motorcycle and had serious head injuries, and unfortunately she passed away. There was another British, British, same thing. There was a British boxer, apparently I think he was in Pattaya, fell off the back of a tuk-tuk. Now what was he doing falling off the back of a tuk-tuk? He was probably drunk. We were all drunk. It could happen to any of us. But he fell off the back of a tuk-tuk and died as a result of his injuries. And a prominent Thai doctor, don't know his name, He was very, very well known. He was on TV and stuff like that. He was known as blah, 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 Dr. blah, blah, blah. He was well known. He was killed going out for his evening walk. Now, I know this happens all over the world, but you see, it happens so much here. Like 60 people per day die on Thai roads. And why does it seem that nothing ever seems to change? Why does it seem that no one seems to do anything about it? Because it's part of their rote learning culture. They learn the way they're just rotation, 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 and rote learning doesn't work. It doesn't equip you with knowledge, it just feeds you information. You see, the Thais are very, very informed. I mean, they're given information, but they're not very knowledgeable. I mean, I didn't know the difference. If you were asked what's the difference between knowledge and information, you'd have a general idea, but here's the specifics. Information consists of structured objective facts and data. Knowledge is the deeper subjective understanding of those facts gained through human experience, learning and application. You see, in rote learning, you're just given the information and it's thrust upon you with no provision made for your understanding and digesting of that information. But critical thinking learning is completely the opposite. Critical thinking learning is what's practiced in Western Europe, I think in Singapore and South Korea as well, whereby you're not fed the information. You learn yourself. You're asked, what is this? What is this? You're not told what it is. And when you apply that mentality to learning the common sense rules of the road, you get what exists in Thailand today, where people throw caution to the wind. It's just a fact. It's not a criticism. They throw caution to the wind. They ride around with more than 2 people on a motorcycle. Motorcycles are not designed for more than 2 people. They're designed for the rider and the pillion passenger. That's it. They ride around without helmets. They carry people around in pickup trucks. You see, it's because they have been given, what the hell is that? It's just a reflection. They have been given the information, but they don't process the information, because if they did, they'd apply the process information, it would become knowledge, they would become knowledgeable, and they wouldn't behave the way they do. Or would they? You see, part of the problem here is enforcement. How can you enforce the rules of the road, which the rules of the road in Thailand, surprise, surprise, they're the same as they are internationally, but they're not enforced. You see, how can you enforce the rules of the road when your economy is dependent on the people on their motorcycles, i.e. people going to work, people bringing their kids to school, contractors bringing their labourers to the site? If you enforce the law where you wouldn't have people in the back of pickups and you wouldn't allow kids to ride on motorcycles, 3 or 4 people on one motorcycle, the economy would be crippled. So Thailand's hands are tied. This is a cultural thing, and it won't change overnight by the stroke of a pen. Culture changes over time, over a long time. But you see, this is what, I won't say we're up against or I'm up against. Well, I am up against it. I'm a Thailand road user. I'm a pedestrian and a motorist, and sometimes a pillion passenger on a motorcycle. So it does affect me. So this is what I'm up against. How and when will it change? So we're going to look at a few statistics. I'm getting myself some French fries. Not French fry. In actual fact, they're not French fries at all. They're chips. I can get them here around the corner from where I live for 49 baht for 1 portion. So I'm getting 2 portions. Anyway, we can look at some statistics to back up exactly what I'm saying. And I'm saying a lot. And guess what? The reason why I'm kind of at this angle, because it's an angle you don't normally see me at, is because I'm using a mini tripod. I left my main tripod up in Pontootini, and shit, it's raining and my umbrella's over there. Give me a minute. So anyway, it's absolutely precipitating. It's the monsoon season. And this is when it gets worse. You think that road traffic accidents in Thailand are bad. You want to try it through the rainy season. I mean, it goes without saying. I'm going to get me chips and we reconvene. But before we do that, have a look at some statistics. Because I'm backing up what I'm saying with statistics for a change. Can you hear that rain? It's absolutely incredible. Luckily I have an umbrella, but it's not going to do me any good in this. But if you have a helmet, it's going to do a lot of good in situations like this. Actually, most motorcyclists in Thailand, to be fair, they shelter during the monsoon. That's the real deal, lads. Okay, thank you. I don't know how I'm going to get home. Should I chance it? The chips will go cold if I don't. I don't know if you can see it out there, but it's really coming down. God damn, suicidal, but I gotta try it. Where's the umbrella gone? That woman took my umbrella without asking. Thais do that, you know. If you leave your flip-flops outside the house, well, up in Pontootini, that's where I'm going now, by the way. You leave your flip-flops outside the house and our family are there, someone will just put them on and go about their business. It's not that they're being dishonest. It's just that property sometimes feels almost communal. Anyway, she took my umbrella. She went to do something. She didn't ask me. I went looking for it. She brought it back and she tilted it, and the rainwater that was on the umbrella cascaded onto that couple having their meal. It was nothing to do with me. But maybe you could say that's to do with education. If they were better educated, they'd know not to take something that doesn't belong to them, even though they're not being dishonest by any means. I'm not saying she was. I'm just saying that's the way they do things. Maybe it would be better. You see, it's all about timidness. You see, they're afraid to ask. She knows me. I've been there many, many times. She knew what I was doing. So she just said it'd be no harm to take it, to go out and do what she did doing and bring it back. Fair enough, I had no issue with that. But you see, if they were better educated, maybe they behave differently. Another example of this behaviour, say on the roads, I've just come back from bringing my son to school, and this happens every single day. I stop at a pedestrian crossing, you know, the black and yellow, we call them zebra crossings or zebra crossings or crosswalks. Once a person is standing at a crosswalk like that, the traffic is obliged, that's the best way to put it, is obliged to stop. Well, when I do that, the people on the crosswalk waiting to cross look at me as if I've got two heads, because they don't expect it. In Thailand, they have to wait till the traffic is finished. In other words, there's a gap in the traffic before they can cross, because Thai drivers have no idea how to behave at a crosswalk. Or if they do, they just ignore it completely. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about education. So we're on the road again today to Pontootini, because as I said earlier, and maybe I didn't say earlier, but I hope I did. So we're on the road again to Pontootini. I forgot my tripod. We were up there for the weekend. This is Monday morning. I forgot my tripod. So now I've got to drive all the way back up to collect a bloody tripod. As I said, I'm using this mini tripod to record this part of the video. I don't know, maybe it's better, I don't know. But anyway, we shall reconvene. That's what we'll do. Because that's what we always do. So we're reconvening. There's a traffic flow problem, like there usually is. We're trying to get out of Bangkok to go up to Pontoon, and I don't know what's causing the tailback, but there's a tailback. But I can tell you, statistically, Thailand ranks about mid-table when it comes to the world rankings on education. It depends. There's no unified, there's no recognised one method of ranking that's recognised globally. There's various ones. But it's safe to say that being a motorist in Thailand and having the experience that I have had and I'm having this morning, going nowhere fast, that in my experience, education plays a huge part in the lack of road awareness, road user awareness in Thailand. And it causes catastrophic consequences. To be a catastrophic consequence for me if this doesn't get going, because I've got stuff to do today. Have a look. I mean, it's moving now, but Jesus, after taking its time. There's the Thai mint. I think that's the Thai mint there. Look. There it is there. If you're wondering, that's where your bat comes from. Anyway, we're not too far from our destination now. So I've just arrived in Pontoon to get my tripod. You'll notice again, you see the angle is completely different. I don't know if you prefer this angle or not. Maybe it gives a bit more continuity and variety to the channel. You never know. Anyway, I've got to go in here and get this thing. And you see, because I'm a man and I'm married to a woman, she doesn't want me to leave until I call her to make sure I've locked everything up and everything is ship shape and all that kind of stuff. Hang on. Is it open? It is now. Yeah, well listen, just as another point, drinking and driving in Thailand. Her brothers who drive, she has 5 brothers, well she has now, she used to have 7, but unfortunately 2 of them passed away. But two of her brothers that drive, that come up here on a regular basis, have a few Leo, and I've said this so many times before, have a few Leo before they set off back to Bangkok. It's a matter of course. And they'll invite me to drink with them. Sitting here, this tripod's on this table, I'll show you, hang on. They'll be sitting right here. And they'll invite me to drink with them before they head back to Bangkok. You see, drinking and driving is a whole other thing. And you see, this is what I mean about education. Why the hell would anybody think it's a good idea to drink and drive? Well, a lot of Thais do. That's why there's so much carnage at New Year's and at Songkran. It's a fact. I better get this thing. Oh. Fantastic. I've got me tripod. God, you've no idea how snookered I am without this. Honest to God. Just before I head back to Bangkok, she asked me to feed the fish. And I've noticed that there's some river monsters. There's one over there, I don't know if you saw it. There's some absolute monsters in that pond.
We hardly get one to come up and say hello to us.
If only we could get one. There he is. See them? Look. There they are over there. Jesus, they're huge. They are big mothers. Come meet many of them. Well, we've only travelled about 50 metres from the road of where we reside. Well, we don't reside, but we reside at the weekends. And I don't know what I'm doing here. It's all in Thai. God, I'm a Philistine. I'm a total Philistine. That looks nice. I don't even know what I'm doing. I could do Google Translate. I could do Google Translate on the menu, but Thais could do Google Translate on road safety. Any Moona, can't I? Moo? Moo, okay, any, okay. Yeah, Lagar Cola. Cola Namkang. Yeah, thank you. It's a very nice place. You know that this section of the video has become a staple of the video, of my videos. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's become a staple. And, whoopsie daisy. I shouldn't be drinking cola, but I'll tell you one thing I have done. I've knocked the alcohol on the head. One thing I've never done, I've never drank and drive, ever in my life, and nor would I. And to do it here, even though Thais do it, as I've seen individuals on motorcycles parked outside 7-Eleven. These are Thai people parked outside, and I'm not saying it's unique to Thai people. I'm just saying I have seen Thai people parked outside 7-Eleven with a can of Chang sitting on a motorcycle. Chang being a term of convenience. It could be Chang, could be Sing, could be Leo, but a can of beer. So if I was one of her brothers sitting here after doing a job of work in the house for her and having finished my job of work, and I might be sitting here and having my breakfast, I'd probably be having a Leo, because that's what they do. I hope you're finding this video entertaining. I try and bring you the very best, I really do, and you guys are the very best. Look at that. Thank you very much, lads, for all your help with buying me a coffee. If you want to help me out, and to be honest with you, lads, you are the guys that give me the motivation to keep going. You can scan the QR code or click the link below, and I really appreciate it. I can tell you how much does it cost me to make a video. By the way, this is not me asking you to subsidize or fund me in the making of my videos. It's merely a donation. But just to give you a heads up, it was 500 baht I put in the tank to get me up here today. Well, that's not just get me up here, but the way gasoline has gone in Thailand recently, it's the price, it's just what used to fill half the tank doesn't fill half the tank anymore. So 500 baht barely does it. But 500 baht, and I didn't pay the tolls, because if I did pay the tolls, it would have been 340 baht there and back. So that's 840 baht. 840 baht for a round trip to Pontutini, 45 kilometers. And people say Thailand's cheap. Jesus. And you put that in real money, you're looking at, I don't know, 840. The guts, well, it's $25, something like that, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how much this is, or do I? It's in the region of about 50. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's in the region of 50 baht or so. It's pork soup. I didn't really know what I was getting, but look, there you go. It changes as good as the rest. We're not in Bangkok, we're in Klong Luang. I didn't make a video. I'm going to put some of this in, just a little bit. I didn't make a video in Klong Luang over the weekend because I had other things to do. But I said to myself when I left here yesterday, at realising halfway home that I'd forgotten my tripod, I says, Jesus, I never made a video in Klong Luang. And as fate would have it, here we are back again. Imagine that. Anyway, I didn't know what I was asking for. It's noodles. It's pork with noodles. No idea. It's very hot. When I say very hot, I don't mean spicy hot. It's just very temperature hot. Anyway, will I bore you with the? Hang on. Let me just taste this. It'd be wrong not to taste it. You know, on camera that is. I'll taste some of the noodles with some of the pork. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah. That meets with my approval. It's actually advertised there. I can show you. I can show you where it's advertised. So that's it there. If any of you can read Thai, maybe you can let me know what it is. But that's what I'm eating. Jesus, this channel's going from strength to strength. Not only are we employing the use of different tripods, we're employing the use of different camera angles. It's wonderful in different places. And you see, I travelled 45 kilometres here today, and I'm still here, even though I was travelling on Thai roads, some of the most dangerous roads in the world, regardless of the education. Thai roads are right up there. It's really quite wonderful. And it looks like I'm eating house special. Ah. But I'm not making light. I'm not making light of the carnage on Thai roads. Did you ever wonder how many Westerners are killed on Thai roads every year? How many Westerners are killed on Thai roads every year? I can tell you what this says. While there is no single official centralized database that strictly tracks every Westerner or foreigner or foreign fatality on Thai roads, reports and localized news tracking indicate that dozens of Westerners are killed in Thailand roads every year, frequently as a result of motorcycle accidents, speeding and drunk driving. See, told you the Thais weren't alone in it. The lack of centralized English language dashboard for foreign casualties is compounded by the staggering scale of Thailand's overall road safety. The Thailand National Toll, Thailand consistently ranks amongst the most dangerous countries in the world for road traffic deaths, according to the World Health Organization. Roughly 18 to 20,000 people are killed in traffic accidents annually, averaging about 50 per day. There you go. That's what it says. So there's no figures for us, but we're in there. And motorcycles are the crux of it. So I'll eat this, and then we'll move on. I have to move on. I have to get back to Bangkok. Another thing I'm noticing is parked at junctions. When I conclude my repast, I shall include a clip of parking at junctions. Don't go away. That was absolutely excellent. It really was. Gee whiz. You know, I much prefer shooting videos here than shooting videos in Bangkok, because you probably have noticed that there's not as much traffic and it doesn't interfere with the audio that much. Anyway, let's see how much this is. Rồi mà khi bạn được không?
70 บาทค่ะ
Jet tip. Bad tip, okay. Okay. Thank you so much. No. Okay.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you. Right, what we do? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to go on and show you parking at junctions. This is a real bone of contention for me. It really is. Actually, I won't say bone of contention. I'll say it's the bane of my life. That was lovely. You see, parking at junctions is the bane of my life. Hang on a second. That's me. You see, I've started to do what they do because the only way to survive on the roads here is to drive like they do. If you follow the international rules of the road in Thailand, you're probably going to be in a worse situation than if you didn't. Because you're going against the flow, you see. That's what it is. But there's other individuals doing exactly what I'm doing. So this guy is parked at a junction. Isn't it wonderful? So I'm doing what they do, but there's things that they do that I will never do. Parking at junctions for me is convenient for me. It's obviously convenient for them. Riding in the back of a pickup is not convenient for me. Stopping in the middle of a roundabout is not convenient for me. Riding side saddle on a motorcycle is not convenient for me. And God knows what else. But I just want to say to you lads, I hope you found this video conveniently, and I hope you feel conveniently satisfied in the entertainment value of this video and indeed of this channel. And listen, don't take everything too seriously, but it is an observation, and it's a valid observation, but it's absolutely not a criticism, positive or negative. It's just an observation. So I hope you make the observation of the subscribe button down there, and the like button, and the subscribe, well, I've said the subscribe button already. Do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. That's if I make it back to Bangkok on Thailand's disastrous roads.